Hi, I'm Michael LaFosse from the Origami Dough Studio. This project is my dollar bill butterfly. It's foldable from US dollar bills or other denominations using the same format. It's also adaptable to paper money from around the world. You could also trim rectangles to the same proportions and fold as well. In fact, it's always a good idea to start with larger paper that's trimmed to the same proportions for practice, and then you can use a real dollar bill later. This is a great project, by the way, for what we call wet folding. All you need is a small paper towel moistened with a little water and swipe both sides of the bill to moisten. The folding will go more easily, and when the paper dries, the origami will stay folded. I'm going to use paper that's larger. Notice that I have the obverse side facing up with George's portrait. That means that these ones on this side will appear on the wings. You could also do the reverse, but this demonstration will be for the obverse. Fold in half, short edge to short edge. And now we need to define a square area up here at the open cut end. You can use another bill of similar proportion and place at the top corner, take the folded edge and fold it over the bottom edge. Another way is to take one of the cut short edges, fold it temporarily across to one of the longer edges, and now you see the remnant down here. Fold this rectangular remnant up and over the defining edge. Now unfold. The center is a valley. This lower one is a mountain. The one above is a valley, and we need to reverse it first by bending it backwards into a mountain. Take each of the mountain folded edges one at a time and fold them to align with the center crease. What we're doing here is taking up the excess in the middle, allowing us to make a rectangle that is twice as long as it is tall. Now fold in half using the original center crease, and you'll see you'll have a margin front and back. Fold this margin in half, end to end, and bring the rest of the bill along with it. Stand one rectangular half straight up and open to make the shape of a hood. Be sure that the hood is open all the way down inside to the bottom corner. Keep the layers aligned while we flatten the shape symmetrically, like this. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Turn the paper over, and before we do that squash fold, we're going to take the rectangular area and hinge it straight over to make sure that we have a good flexible base hinge back and forth. Now that it stands up centered and well, we're going to open the hood, keep the layers together as we squash symmetrically. You'll notice on a US dollar bill there are larger ovals for the number 1 on one end, and there are smaller ones at the other. Make sure that the smaller ones are facing up, and you can use this printed line as a guide for the next fold. With the smaller ovals top side, bend the bottom corner up and approximate this margin. Notice that we have this remnant here. Put the triangle on the table and one at a time open a rectangle, making a cone-shaped pocket, and we're going to flatten it. It must be done symmetrically, and to be sure that we're doing that, we want to make sure that this V-notch is centered with the crease that you can see here. Once that's centered, we can gently fold and then sharpen the creases on the other side. Let's do the same thing with the other wing set. Open, center, and sharpen. So now we can see the wings. This corner here at the center is the abdomen. And if you did your folding correctly, your ones should be facing correct side up. If by chance you ended up with this, with the ones upside down, simply turn the paper over and bend the abdomen corner the other way. Next, notice the horizontal mountain creases. Use those, forming a mountain folded edge, while we roll the bottom edge of what will be the hind wing, that's at the abdomen side, up and over. Notice the sharpened edge we've made. We can flatten that down. And we have a separation now between the forewing and the hind wing, and it's an overlapping towards the back. Let's do that on the other side. Make sure that the mountain fold is bending. Roll the back edge up and over, and then sharpen the edge and flatten. Fold the model in half, wing to wing, and make any adjustments that you require. Fold a small triangular flap, unfold, and then push that triangle inside. The creases will guide the shape. We flatten it and we get this nice rounded corner here, a beveled shape. Let's do the same treatment on the other side. Pre-crease, unfold, and this is technically an inside reverse fold. Push it in, reversing the center crease, and flatten. Let's add a little bit more definition to the wings. This bottom square corner can be blunted by mountain folding behind. And then where we made our little notch, we have a little corner here which is free to be mountain folded behind. And this makes the hind wing of the butterfly shaped like that. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Mountain fold the square corner, find the new free corner from the top back edge, and shape it. All we need to do now is to form the body. This is the top view, and we're going to mountain fold lengthwise from the top. This corner being the head is also the pivot point for what we're about to do. We're going to pivot here, swinging the long folded edge of the abdomen over and angling on top of one wing. Notice the angle, angling down to the level of this obtuse corner back here. Let's fold the other wing up to match, wing to wing. At this point, if you open your model, it would look like this, and that's perfectly all right, but we can do better than that. The real finishing touches are done at the underside here. Fold tightly over, and then tuck in behind the folded edge, trapping it there. Let's do the same thing to the other side. First, fold tightly over, and then tuck behind. And that helps to lock the body and the wing shape well. Then, when we open from the other side, we're going to fold the wings out. And we have a nice trim shape. And that's the finished origami dollar butterfly. Remember, you could use the obverse or the reverse showing, and you could use larger denominations of US currency for a more valuable gift. And try adapting this model to other rectangles of paper and paper currency from around the world. Enjoy!